Admiral's Log. My attention currently is being pulled in two directions. I am torn between the unyielding Germans and the relentless Russians. Balancing these two formidable adversaries demands not only strategic acumen, but also an intimate understanding of the shifting sands of international politics. Yet, as I grapple with these pressing matters, a personal decision looms on the horizon. A decision that will mark the culmination of my lifelong service to the United States Navy. In this era of rapid technological advancements, where rockets, missiles, and other innovations redefine naval warfare, I find myself yearning for the simplicity of a bygone era. The days of mighty ships and thunderous cannons hold a certain allure, a nostalgia for a time when warfare was more tangible and the horizon was not cluttered with flying materials. The future of naval warfare, with its relentless pursuit of progress, stands in stark contrast to the traditions I hold dear. A choice looms before me, one that carries profound implications not only for the Navy, but also for the closing chapter of this protracted series of conflicts. As the Admiral who has weathered these turbulent seas, I must decide whether to adapt to the changing tide, or to pass the mantle to a new generation, more attuned to these evolving paradigms. The journey ahead is uncertain, and the echoes of my past service reverberate with the weight of this impending decision. Hey guys, Stealth here, and welcome to episode 27. As predicted / expected, we have a meeting in East Asia with the battleship Niaz Potemkin Tavricheski. Sorry. I unfortunately do not have any battleships, but what I do have is some very seriously armed cruisers. These California, Columbia, and Washington are all of the Ambassador class, and that means that they carry 6 11-inch guns. They're going to give this battleship with their 16-inch guns a run for their money. The battleship is not sporting that many secondaries, not really. So I suspect that my destroyers will also be able to close the distance and allow for some supporting fire with their 6 5-inchers. The Olympia, those 9-inchers are really good. They might be able to assist with HE, but I don't exactly expect them to deal any kind of AP damage this fight. Much like before, California immediately lights up the target, even though it's at 32 kilometers out. Now let's bring the destroyers all into one nice little formation, insofar as you can call something in this game a formation. Who are you, Washington? You're not a Scranton, so you can just join the heavy cruisers. I'm not sure why they split these ships like this. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Now, I'm banking on the fact that at this range we're going to have some plunging fire. So we'll be able, well, really quite able to deal some serious deck pens. And, of course, the battleship is not enjoying this treatment and is returning the favor, trying to retaliate with her 16-inch guns. But considering that, wow, even a full pen, right through the aft deck. These shells are really quite impressive. The real question can be asked, do I need this much pen? At the moment, what? We destroyed the main tower. Oh, okay. So there goes your accuracy. Yeah. They're still firing. I just don't really expect a whole lot of destructive results, because they simply can't actually deal that much damage. Now, Olympia is firing her armor-piercing shells, Columbia is with HE, California and Washington are also with HE, because HE at this range, it's pretty much good enough to deal enough damage against that battleship. And so far, I haven't taken a scratch. We've closed the distance to 18 kilometers. That battleship is low fuel, so that should make it more easy even for the destroyers to catch up. More easy? Easier. Sorry. And, I wonder how well her crew is capable of containing all those fires. Because I'm seeing 5 fires. 6. The notification's only halfway through. 12, 13, 14. Are we really going to see an extensive fire overwhelm on a battleship like this? Torpedoes launched from, I think, Colombia? Yeah, Colombia. 24 fires. Fire control has been damaged. Don't worry. Main tower had already been destroyed. 28 fires, 29 fires. We're just butchering this battleship like it's not a threat. Causing flooding even. 36 fires. Now keep in mind, I didn't actually set 36 fires. It's just that this pop-up keeps going on for so long because we keep adding damage. That, sure enough, we might have set 43 fires, but they're not all raging at the same time. I refuse to believe that. Now this battleship is in for a really rough treatment. They have about 5% chance to hit me. The 6.2s have far, far less chance. They're flooding. They're burning. They've lost 43% of their crew. This is not a bad battleship. But it is a dead battleship. And it landed one hit. And that's not enough. So, that is one dead Soviet warship, giving me 3,931 victory points for 0 for the Russians. Oh boy. Considering we can treat enemy battleships like this with our cruisers, our heavy cruisers, does make it feel like it's rather in an endgame stage. I don't really feel like this campaign is going to be going on for a whole lot longer. Oh, we're losing transports in the Baltics and the Sea of Japan. Might that have had something to do with that battleship that they had there? Colombia. I don't care for Colombia at the moment. What do we got here? Albany and Ambassador. Against the heavy cruiser Bavaria and light cruiser Rostock. 7.2-inch guns and 7-inch guns. And one destroyer. Small encounter. I'll take it. I don't know why exactly these two cruisers of mine have split off from the rest of the force. Because they're not here by themselves. They are part of a larger task force. So exactly how they decided that they wanted to be out here all by themselves, I don't understand. It's just that the game sometimes does this, I guess. And I would very much appreciate it if you just have task forces that is, well, gonna stick as a task force. Because even after all these years, the game still feels random in these engagements. Meaning that a ship like the Titan, you know, the big 20.9-inch sniper ship, it's specifically designed never to have to operate solo and make sure that it doesn't encounter either, well, a French super battleship or a whole lot of smaller ships, because she cannot handle that. If you have a task force system or a formation system that makes sure that ships always stick together, you can have something like that be escorted by, I don't know, 4 or 5 heavy cruisers that keep other ships at bay, or even lay down additional suppressive fire on the enemy battleship, much like the previous battle. Right now, it feels like you can send out ships like that, either the Titan or in this case the Ambassador class, with another task force. And some mechanic, I think it has to do with their operational range, just, I don't know, says, yeah, you can have an encounter, but you can't. And it does not, as far as I'm concerned, show the player enough information about why that happens. It's not something I feel I can plan for. I can just give my ships maximum operational range and hope for the best. But there is no statistic that shows me, okay, if you do this, then that will happen. Or if you have these ships in the formation, they will always fight together. And that does make it kind of hard to plan for. I think this light cruiser is done for. Yeah. It might have launched torpedoes, which I doubt I'll spot in time. Let's change course. This is their heavy cruiser. It's an interesting setup. Look at that bow mount torpedo launch. Oh, and stern by the sound of it. Where? I heard a torpedo launch. This is not a launcher. It's not my ships that are currently launching. So I suspect this thing is up to no good. 5-inchers are trying to pitch in, but in this storm, they're having a bit of a rough time with it. Let's take a nice screenshot like so. In case you don't know how I do this, Control-Shift-Alt-Z removes the HUD. Control-Shift-Alt-Z. And then you press, in my case, F11 to take screenshot, depending on where you have your Steam key screenshot set up. The 7-inch just ricochets off of the deck of the cruiser here. Okay. This thing is largely invulnerable. I mean, yeah, the enemy ship can set some fires. I believe that will be about the extent of it. We have full ID. So what can I expect from this thing? It's 200... Wait, that's an expensive cruiser. 212 million. Mine are marginally more expensive. What did you spend your money on? Why are these things so expensive? They got a pretty okay armor layout. They got diesel 1, so that's not that. I'm seeing 21-inch torpedoes electric. Torpedoes tend to make a ship pretty expensive. I'm seeing sonar 3, generation 2 radar. And beyond that, it's Crypt 4 armor, so it's not the armor that makes this thing so expensive, it's not the speed. What did you do to this ship? Why are you so pricey? And how worried should I be about those torpedoes? Because that's a minus 92% visibility. And it's a storm. So it's going to make my accuracy pretty awful. That's 1, 2... that I know of. Do you launch per 2? No, you got a single and then a quintuple, like 5 launchers. But you launch 4. Or you launch singles. That was definitely not a single. So I guess that was part of the spread of the quintuple from the Bavaria. That's my suspicion here. 83% accuracy versus their 7? Oh, it's about to get worse. They just lost their main tower. We got a regular crew on their side. We got a regular crew on the Albany. Why is my ship so ridiculously more accurate than theirs? 432% range found. 282% range found. Is your rangefinder just that bad? You got a stereoscopic 5. You got the generation 2 radar. That might be it. Like, the rangefinder isn't that good. Target fast speed is 34.8. Target fast speed 15.3. I'm doing, what, 1.5 knots more than you? On a good day? Stormy weather's minus 24 for both. Actually, it's a bit worse for me. Gentle breeze wind. Look, you cannot have gentle breeze wind and stormy weather. That's a bit odd. They get a debuff from target ship size? Really? Because my ship isn't that small. Well, it is smaller than theirs. I'm 14,592 tons. They're 21,000 tons. I would just argue that they've done a pretty bad design on this ship. Because on 21,000 tons, surely you can pack something a lot bigger than a 7-inch gun. Surely. This seems undergunned. Maybe the Germans were going for a torpedo cruiser design. In that case, I guess it's successful. It's just their main firepower is so lacking. And right now I'm at what, 6 kilometers? Yeah. They can now pen my tower, but they can't really reliably hit it. At least not anymore. The ship is flooding, burning, has lost 25% of her crew. She's lost a lot of her secondaries as well. And a few of her torpedo launchers. And my shells, well, they might be ricocheting at this point. Yeah, ricochets. Okay, let's go to HE. Make sure we do not get ricochets. And rip open that hole. Cause more flooding. Because I think we might be able to take him down with that. Torpedo launch from the cruiser. Turn to port. Let's see what the HE does. Oh, now you go broadside. The HE does nothing. It misses every shot. Beautiful. Oh, there's another torpedo over there. Please proceed with the destruction of the German cruiser. Make it snappy. 5 kilometers out. That's more like it. Flooding on stern. I'm trying to knock out the torpedo launchers as well. Not exactly to a whole lot of effect, because they keep flinging torps at me. 4 kilometer range. That's another 2,000 damage hit. Go on. Take out the Bavaria, would you? Torpedo launch starboard at what? At the DD? That's ambitious. Go on, flood already. Yeah, she's gone. Next. Increase speed. Take this guy down. Oh, we can't increase speed anyway. Stormy weather's keeping us slowed down. This thing has no torpedoes left. I think that's at the moment the least of its worries. What's it doing? It's trying to run off. That's not happening. Like, I don't want results like these. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, there. Now, supposedly, and I haven't actually read the patch notes yet, in the next version of the game, 1.4, we're going to be able to go up to 1965. I'm very curious how that's going to work, so I'll have to look into the dev blog and see exactly what they're planning. Because if you just keep expanding the era, like you make the campaign last for 15 years more, does that also mean they're going to introduce new tech? I don't know, I haven't looked into it yet. Okay, pausing and recording again. I have read up on the dev post, and they said campaign can now be prolonged to up to 1965. Yet, well, next to some changes regarding a couple of hulls, campaign updates, I'm not seeing tech updates. So it's not like they're suddenly going to be adding cruise missiles and ship-to-ship missiles and helicopters and all that gear. Sorry for the scrolling back and forth. I'm also scrolling my browser. I would love to see something like that. Again, I'm still very much looking for a game that marries Dreadnoughts with Age of Sail. With Ruler Waves 3, where you can go up into the missile era. I need the visuals from this game with the, let's say, mechanics, techniques from the other game. Oh, we got a one-on-one. A York-class heavy cruiser with 15 8.6s. And we got an ambassador. My money's on the ambassador class. Alright, heavy cruiser Frederick. Regular trained crew, 1,024 crew aboard. We're getting some pretty decent bonuses already, getting additional accuracy, getting additional aiming. Reduction of what? A reduction in reload to 20.3 seconds. And we get better, far better damage control than with a rookie crew. Enemy ship. Show me this ship. What is it doing? Where is it going? It's not even coming towards me anymore. Has the AI just given up on fighting me now? Oh, right. It's that weird stern build thing. Yeah. I remember this ship. It's an interesting build, and I don't expect it to work that well. Because this might be nice if you're trying to, I don't know, have somebody chase you down. But this third turret in line here doesn't actually work that well. Because if you want to use this, you're still going to have to turn broadside. Which is probably not what they're trying to achieve. I think this guy is going to pull a Sir Robin. Bravely run away. Range 25.5, 25.4, 25.3. Yeah. Give me a minute. After a good while of chasing down the Victoria Louise, the ship has taken a few hits as the Frederick gains and gains and gains accuracy. The ship is still 20 kilometers out, yet her accuracy climbs to scary levels. By the time that these shells arrive, by the way, which is 20 seconds give or take, The guns are already loaded again. This is the shell travel time of, what, about 1,000? Yeah, about 1,000. I'm firing HE. And there you go. The shells just came in and the guns are already loaded for the next salvo. Victoria Louise at this point is utterly doomed. The ship doesn't have any buoyancy left. Well, not enough to get up to a whole lot of speed, so I'm going to close the distance even more. Her secondary tower has been destroyed. One of her primary turrets has been destroyed. And, well, damage to her torpedo launchers. The 1.7... I'm not even sure how many she had. Just a few on the side. They've all been destroyed thanks to HE impacts. They do have more 1.7s, but they're in a different... Yeah, it's a single. This was a triple. So... the AI didn't even try to fight. They didn't even try and have a go at me. Destroyed another secondary gun, more fire, 26% crew lost. What I'm rather waiting for is another full pen. Let's see if I can get that with AP. There comes the next HE salvo. 60% chance to hit at 18-kilometer range. We're not facing a battleship. We're facing a cruiser. Nope, ricochets. This is the cap ballistic, isn't it? Yeah. No, it's a semi-ballistic shell. That arguably shouldn't ricochet, even on a hull like that. Back to the high explosive bombs. 17.5 kilometer. That was the last AP. Last salvo that was in the air, that is. And they just ceased fire again with the mains. I don't quite get why. I do find that on this hull the mains look a little out of place. Like they're very, very wide relative to the rest of the ship. My 11 inchers, yes, they're big, but they don't stick out over the side of the ship. So I'm not exactly sure what the balance of this ship is, but I doubt it'll be very good. Yeah, longitudinal weight offset of 44. But transverse weight offset 0. Roll is 19. It's not terrible. It's longitudinal weight offset that's a bit high. But the ship can definitely get by with that. So, that's another German ship sunk. I'm trying to peel away, well, let's say role-playingly, trying to peel away the German escort groups. So cruisers, destroyers, light cruisers, and thus make their battleships far more susceptible to my battleship fire. Because then my battleships don't have to worry about torpedoes, they don't have to worry about... yeah, it's fine. They don't have to worry about any such thing. Now, the Germans don't want to fight anymore. I wonder why. What this is going to mean is that I'll not have the Germans left as my enemy, but I will have the Russians. The Russians are over here with a battlecruiser. The battlecruiser and the light cruiser. This is going to take a lot of men to invade. Yeah. Population of let's say 7.8 million. Army force 268,000. I can't get in there easily. That would require the relocation of the entire fleet. Because I'm going to need a lot of tonnage. The alternative is to go into... Wow, Latvia with 500,000 men. Wait, what? Wow, there's fewer soldiers in the Russian Far East than there is in Latvia. Okay. Estonia is neutral. Southern Finland is still Finnish. I don't think I can capture Siberian Russia. And it doesn't really yield me much even if I do. No, there's no port. I cannot get in there. I can get into Russian Far East. I can try to get into Russia, but that might be a little hard. Considering that there's a lot of guys over there. Who's putting pressure? So the Russians putting pressure on the Germans. And they're getting assistance from the Brits. It looks like they'll go through. Based on the defense force, they don't have the numbers. So what about here then? They'll push through into eastern Poland. And Eastern Poland is, I don't know, attacking or relocating into Bohemia, Moravia. There's still the fight for Hungary going on. And it doesn't look like these groups are doing a whole lot of work. This one might. That's 2.2, let's say 2.3 million men. With a defender of 850,000. Yeah, they might be able to do it there. Is it at all possible for me to send ships into the Black Sea? Yes, it is. Now you have my full attention. Now you have my full attention. Can I move more ships into the Black Sea? Because some of these ships were refitting, but some of them were just in there for repairs and R&R. So that means they're ready. Arkansas, I think Sovereign was refitting, so she's probably not ready, but that's fine. I got plenty more. We got the Nebraska, the Ambassador, Scranton, yeah, everybody. Let's go. Into the Black Sea. What can possibly go wrong? Any more ships I have? Because I can relocate them from here. And I can probably start patrolling over there. To bottle up everything that comes out of Kronstadt. And Riga. They got a battlecruiser and some heavies. They got one battlecruiser there. They got a battlecruiser over there. A heavy cruiser over there. A battleship there. A heavy cruiser there. Yeah, I'm not too worried about those, truth be told. I don't think that they're going to be that dangerous. So I'm going to try and keep them all bottled up in the Baltics. Ooh, a battleship. Destination, Baltic Sea. So you're going back east. Alright, that's fine. I'm not too worried about the Russian ships. I just want to see if I can get a bunch of pressure applied into the Black Sea. And potentially liberate some terrain there. Negotiations with the Germans were swift and successful. And peace has been signed. There is no territory that the Germans are willing to give up. Mostly because they don't have much. When it comes to my budget, even their cruisers are too expensive. So I can go shopping around with their light cruisers, but I just don't want to do that. I'm going to go and take their money instead. The Spain's head of Admiralty is suddenly replaced. His recent failures and overall poor management must have been the cause. Yeah, that was probably it. I had nothing to do with that. Ooh. Hello, hello. I don't believe we have a fleet all the way there. But I guess my group from patrolling Denmark took a bit of initiative and went after a group of Russian ships. So we got the Russian battlecruiser Khabarovsk, 16.2-inch guns, slightly smaller than their battleship that had 16.4. We have heavy cruiser Boris, Admiral Nakimov, Archangel Mikhail, and Pallada. 6.2-inch guns is what the Russians consider serious firepower for a heavy cruiser. Sure enough, they got 15. But... the only thing is they're fast. That's about it. 10 underwater torpedo tubes don't scare me. Bring it. The instant you load in, Enterprise and other ships are already lobbing shells over 39 kilometers at the Russian ships. Now, let's have the DDs work together. I keep saying that, and they just generally don't even get the opportunity to get into range because the rest of my ships are a little, well, too good. We're fighting at this range at 12... What? 12% accuracy? You can do that over 37 kilometers. Yeah, scratch whatever I said about cruise missiles and ship-to-ship missiles. We don't need those. We can already hit things out at 38 kilometers. With pretty respectable accuracy, too. Go to HE. Low fuel. On the cruiser. Okay. Let's just rack up some victory points against the Russians here. If they want to play, let's play. Battlecruisers, Delaware, Ranger, Hawaii, New Hampshire. You guys do need a bit of fixing up. I'm not exactly sure what happened to them, but it might have been a minefield. Wouldn't surprise me if it was a bunch of mines that caused this. Yeah, this battleship is starting to take the hits now. Burning. Secondary tower damaged. Oh, sorry, it's not a battleship, it's a cruiser. Battle cruiser. Returning fire. Shells going out against, I suspect, my cruiser, because they're closest. Cruiser Quincy coming under fire. Where's the third one? There, Northampton. It's a 10-incher, so that's a Voyager class. Voyager. Yep. Ooh. What is this then? Who goes there? You are... What are you? What are you really? You're like just a heavy cruiser, right? Yeah. It's just a heavy cruiser, but for some reason it is operating completely alone. I can't quite explain that, but I'm going to task the heavy cruisers and the destroyers with chasing that thing down and eliminating it. The battle cruisers and battleships will continue to deal with the battleship. Battle cruiser. That thing. Proceed. Enterprise with a 16s. 40% chance to hit now. Range, 25 kilometers. Let's switch to AP. Actually, no, let's give the game auto-decide because I'm trying to manage a whole bunch of affairs. What are you people doing? What are you people doing? You're supposed to follow Northampton. Stop avoiding collisions and just focus on the job at hand. Smoke yourself up. And make sure that you guys don't provide a very easy target, because you're very thin-skinned. 0.7 inch. Yeah, we can probably fairly safely launch a torpedo at it. I just rather doubt that we'll actually be able to hit something with a torp. 98% chance to hit? No, never mind. How's that BC doing? Not too well. Not too well. Ooh. This is what happens when these thin-skinned ships get hit. They get hit pretty bad. That's what, the Morris? Wait, that's the Morris, like the original ship of the class? Interesting. So you're 17 years old. Alright. Whoa! Shall we not? Side mount torpedo launchers don't scare me, I said. Up until the point where I get to witness their firepower relatively up close. Come on. We gotta knock this cruiser out. The battle cruiser are already gonna start focusing on other targets. Such as these heavy cruisers, because those torps... How far do they go? 17 clicks. I'm in torpedo range. I'm in danger. I don't like being in danger. You surrendered? Wow. Proud Russian warship. Okay, so this Russian warship's out of the fight. And that leaves me with these. I don't think they're going to last particularly long. Now, in case this episode is a bit boring, I do apologize. There is not a whole lot that I can do. Or that I feel I can do about it. Because we're just so late in the campaign that it tends to devolve into this. It tends to turn into... Let's go bully the AI out of a couple of thousand victory points. And either force a peace or do a naval invasion. And it tends to get to this stage after about... I don't know, 20 episodes or so, and then it starts to compound. Because my navy generally doesn't lose ships, and this means I don't have to replace ships, the AI does, which in an essence is helpful. Otherwise the AI might be sailing around with some old ships. But what it also means is that if I can go to town on, let's say, the French, it's going to take the French years to bring their fleet back up to strength. Same for the Russians. It's going to take them years to bring back additional heavy cruisers, battle cruiser, battleship that I sunk before. So it's not a setback that can get fixed in like 2 or 3 episodes. It's something that takes a long time, like 5 to 10 episodes before a nation might be coming back. Yes, that can be a good thing. It can mean that the enemy is just knocked out of the fight. Call it something resembling realism, call it something that would be fairly true, considering that the enemy has lost ships and they don't easily just snap their fingers and replace the ships. Sure. It's just that from a gameplay perspective, there's not a whole lot of challenge anymore. And that saddens me. Like, the Italians have the biggest fleet at the moment, with 88. I'm next at 76. We got 75, Austria-Hungary, 86. The Japanese have the biggest fleet. No, the second biggest. But they're all small. They're 16 DDs. Then there's China with their 8 ships. The Soviets with their 16. And I think they started the episode with a few more. Spain has 0. They're repairing 5, they're building none. They're still at war with the French, they're still at war with Japan. Like, they got no chance. Not a one. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave you. I'm going to be wrapping up the campaign soon, and hopefully we'll still be able to see some of those new super ships that we're building. I just suspect that 18 months... it's going to be close. And in case you're wondering, well, the campaigns are going to run up to 1965. Why are you concerned? Well, the game won't be compatible. The save file that I'm running right now is not going to be compatible when 1.4 fully launches, and I don't know when that's going to be. So I'm going to be slowly but steadily wrapping up the campaign and trying to tie the story into a nice end. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Let me know what your thoughts are down below, and I'll see you soon for more videos.